In 1995, the first printing of the 17-volume version of the Caitanya-caritamrita was finally exhausted. I think the first printing was 20,000 of the English Caitanya-caritamrita. They were distributed. Prabhupada wanted us to distribute them in the public, and so sets were broken up, and devotees would go out with some Antya-leelas, and so there were many partial sets and all of this and that. So in 1995, I was asked by Nareshwar Prabhu, who was heading up the project, to look over the manuscript that had to be reset. There were no files from the ancient 1975 computers. And so, in cooperation with the North European BBT, which helped enormously, especially with the word-by-word definitions, we went through the whole thing again. We read it all, and we had original transcripts for almost all of it. Adi Leela was not complete, but Madhya Leela, Antya Leela were complete. And I had those with me. At that time, the archives was in Los Angeles, and I had actually the printed sheets in my apartment in San Diego for at least 2 years. And we would check that, and we would against the existing book. And I also had to check, because what we had was scanned material that had been scanned by the people who produced the folio, which later became the database. So it was a big job. Most of it was in making sure that what we had matched the book. And then we went further in conjunction also with Gopi Puranadana Prabhu, who added enormously in terms of checking the Sanskrit and sometimes providing translations for big Sanskrit passages that they just didn't have time to translate in the purports. This was one of the major fixes that we did. Prabhupada wanted his editors to do that. They just ran out of time, because it's a big job. You have these big prose passages from sometimes the Sandarbhas, and there's some very important information that was revealed. In the process of doing all this, that I was going to be checking for any mistakes that I saw. And if I saw something that looked suspicious, I would check with the original transcript. And sometimes I found that a line had been skipped and it didn't make any sense. It made a little bit of sense, and so no one noticed it. And then when I saw it, I said, well, this doesn't make any sense. And there were whole purports that were missing. There were purports that were appended to the wrong verse. All of these things I looked at. And so in the process of checking all of that, I made the corrections of various kinds to the text. This was part of the mandate that I got from the trustees to do this.